I'm hearing right now you've got options. So it feels like you're giving off a very lovely vibe at this particular point in time. You're turning a lot of heads. A lot of eyes are on you at this particular point in time. And out of just that kind of ambient glow that's attracting a lot of attention, a lot of admirers, there is something real, or again, options, the idea of like multiple somethings that are real that are coming towards you. We've got the Four of Wands, so it feels like two people in particular are standing out at this moment in time in terms of like viable suitors, people that actually bring something interesting to the table, that represent the possibility of moving forth into a very satisfying long-term commitment. These are people who are very passionate, very determined, very certain that they want to progress forward towards you. So some of the other people that may have their eyes on you at this point, they're intimidated by you, they're dealing with emotional baggage, some of them might be in other connections and it's kind of like all I can do is look, I can't touch. But out of this sea of people, these sea of individuals that are, they got their focus on you, there's two people in particular that are like, I'm going to come forward, I'm going to say something, I'm going to do something. Interestingly, with this, it feels like both of these people may be aware of one another energetically. So it feels like both of these people are psychic, are energetically sensitive, or have their eyes on you in a way that they are aware that there is like another person other than themselves that has this determination to get to know you more or to claim you in some sort of way. So it's activated some kind of like competitive edge with these two individuals. It's not just competing for your affections and your attention, it's competing with one another. And I'm hearing game on. So this is not the energy though of people that are wanting to like play games with you. It's kind of like they're saying that in their mind or thinking that towards the other individual, the other prominent individual that they sense in your energy, or that they see or that they notice is like giving you special focus, giving you special attention. There's a sense of like game on, I'm going to outdo you, I'm going to be the one that is chosen within this situation. So this is interesting. For some of you, you've come out of a season of maybe like hoping someone would choose you, and now it's like the tables have turned, and so you're going to be the one that's like, who do I choose out of these individuals? So these two individuals are now in this place within themselves of like, I hope to be the chosen one. I hope to be the one that, is selected to kind of progress forward to the next level with this individual. Yeah, Ace of Wands. You definitely check off all the boxes for both of these people, and it feels like they bring very different qualities to the table. It's going to be like you're not just choosing sort of, out of two very similar people. It feels like they're diametrically opposed to one another. It's like whatever sort of narrative you choose to, attach yourself to or move forward with, it leads to a very different kind of future, a different kind of horizon, but it's deeply satisfying on all levels, but in a different sort of way. So again, this is kind of like you might have gone from experiences of like you've had to focus on yourself, or there's just not really been anyone that's expressed interest towards you or has come towards you that had a whole lot to offer, or a lot where you could kind of like see a future with them, or where they were willing to kind of work towards that with you. And so to kind of counteract that, it's like you're in this season, you're in this experience, you're in this energy right now where there's two very like wonderful people that are coming towards you that are determined, like I'm going to make you mine. Like they're both saying that to themselves. She will be mine, he will be mine, like they will be mine, I will be this person's significant other. I'm hearing a +1, so it's like they already are kind of like planning out in their minds, sort of like, these are the steps forward that we're going to take, this is how the relationship will develop, this is the life that we will build with one another. These are both people who are looking to spark a connection with long-term potential. This isn't just flash in the pan energy. This isn't just somebody that wants to kind of like come in on a competitive edge and, you know, kind of like have an experience of conquest, and it's something very temporary and then they're on their way. It's like a level of determination of sort of like, I'm going to fight to kind of like earn a place in this person's life. I'm not just going to kind of fight against sort of wounds from the past or fears, but I'm also going to, you know, address very directly other competition. I'm going to set myself apart from the crowd, and also again specifically from like another individual who is thinking all of those same things. So it's not just like one person approaching, it's two people approaching you that are very determined, that have a lot to offer, that are kind of like, I'm looking at this as a long game. They're both strategizing kind of like, what do I need to do in order to win this person over, win their affections, get them to choose me, get them to focus on me to the exclusion of all others, so that we can move forward into something long term rather than temporary. Yeah, Queen of Wands. You are looking really fine right now. You're looking very delicious, very delectable. This is like you've activated this hunger within both of these people, where they don't want to push their feelings down. These are not individuals who are like, I don't know what I want, or I'm overwhelmed, it's too intense. It's like you're hitting all the right nerves within them. You're pushing all of the right buttons within them. The fact that you're standing in like an independent energy, a self-assured energy, your confidence is very attractive to both of these individuals. And it feels like they bring a lot of those same qualities to the table. They can match you in terms of that. It's kind of like, yes, you're the person that aligns with kind of a higher level experience of what I'm wanting, what I'm seeking at this time in my life. Feels like both of these people are very intent on pleasing you, not like people pleaser energy, but sort of like, what can I do in order to show you a very exceptional experience of love and romance? So both of these people are capable of sweetness, of tenderness, of expressiveness. It feels like both of these people are very creative. Maybe they do things creatively, like professionally speaking, or this can also speak to very creative in terms of like they're creative lovers. They're creative in terms of like planning dates, planning get-togethers. You know, they're going to compliment you and take notice of things more than just sort of like surface level. Oh, you look pretty, you look nice, or I love you, or you're so sweet, you're so special. It's like they're going to get deeper than that. They're going to show you that like, I see and appreciate the depth of who you are as a person. I'm noticing little details about you. It feels like both of these people are just, they're very enamored by you. It feels like they've been observing you for a while, and one of these people, it feels like it's been a while in terms of like a duration of time. They've been very meticulous in terms of like, okay, I want to approach in the right energy. They may have been kind of preparing themselves for that. And so there's someone that's been watching for like a longer period of time. But this other person, it's like they took notice of you a shorter time ago, but they have been very determined. You caught their attention immediately, and it's kind of like, other options, or maybe they weren't even like looking for love, and you sort of like activated that romantic side of them. And so it's kind of like, okay, my focus is on you. I'm laser focused. I'm very determined. So it's like both of these people have really just honed in on you. You may sense that kind of energetic pressure of eyes on you. But again, it's not just like random. It's two very different people who have kind of like the same thought process of like, what is it going to take in order for me to get my foot in the door, to, you know, kind of set myself apart from other options, to convince this person who they're seeing that you have like a lot of self-respect. You hold yourself in a very confident energy. It's very obvious without having to have direct interactions with you that you're not in a time in your life where you're going to settle. And so these are like two people that are rising to the occasion, you know, to present themselves to you as like somebody that would be worth your while, not a waste of your time. So this is something that it feels like has been very invigorating for both of these people, both like the long-term planner and the person who has more recently kind of come online as like, okay, this is a focus. This is kind of like, this has sort of changed the direction of other things that I had going on, whatever my priorities were, wherever they had kind of factored the idea of partnership or dating or exploration or like love, romance, like all that kind of stuff, wherever that factored in on their list of priorities, it's like you've kind of brought that up to the top of the list. They've been moving things around, or at least kind of shifting the way in which their energy or their focus is kind of portioned out throughout the day. And it's like you're now a central focus of both of these individuals' daily lives. Yeah, King of Cups. So again, this is that energy that they both are aware of one another. And this may be something where, they've kind of, one or both of these people may have already approached, they may be in your life in some sort of way. And so they're noticing, hey, there's this other person that gives you attention. This can be something where there could be a social media connection, and they're kind of like, okay, here's this person that's often commenting, often liking things. There seems to be these exchanges and dialogues, so they've like looked one another up. They're aware of one another in a sense. For others of you though, this just kind of ties into like a level of sensitivity where as they're feeling into this circumstance energetically, as they're kind of like focused on you, there's almost like static within that energy. There's like a disturbance within that energy, and it's not coming from you and it's not coming from them. And so the best that they can kind of figure out is like, okay, there's somebody else, there's another suitor, there's competition that wants what I want, like you're the prize, and these two people both have their eyes on you in a very determined way. And so this is and I'm hearing the phrase jousting, so it's bringing to mind like medieval knights and like a jousting competition, or like a battle of wits or something. Like you've made these two people like very, very competitive with one another, of sort of like, okay, I know I'm not the only person here that is not just sort of looking at you and thinking, wow, that's an attractive person, or that's somebody that I want to be with, but I know I'm not the only person here with like a plan of action that I'm trying to kind of carry out or bring forth in order to make myself relevant, or, to kind of like get up close and personal and we can see what happens, or to progress the circumstance forward. So, this can be the beginning of like two talking stages, kind of like, if you were like even used to being juggled as an option before by other people, it's like now you have options. Now these two people are going to like wine and dine you. They're going to woo you. They're going to court you. They're going to try to impress you. They're going to try to like set themselves apart from the competition, not just in a random sense of like anyone else that could kind of come to the table, but the sense of like it feels like, or they have some kind of confirmation of like another person who is determined to make you theirs as well. And so it's bringing forth an aspect within these two individuals of just like, I'm not going to be bested. I'm not going to be outdone by somebody else. So it's making them a lot more determined, it feels like, to move quickly and to move in a way that is meaningful. Like they know that time is of the essence. But then there's also, with this King of Cups, like they have to do things right. They can't just kind of like come in the Knight of Wands energy, and purely just lead with like passion or, chemistry or like sexual desire. There's got to be more substance to it in order for what they are kind of feeling or seeing to be the greatest likelihood that something lasting, something long term, or at least, headed in the possibility of that direction, that could be an option for them. It's like they don't just want to be a temporary experience for you. They see something in you, or something is like resonating within them in terms of their wants, their needs and desires of like, yeah, I could see you as someone that I could build a life with. I could see you as someone that would look, really good on my arm, or that I'd be very proud to be seen with. And so it's these kind of little qualities, these kind of futuristic, future thinking qualities, that are coming forth, or these like thoughts or feelings within them that are motivating both these individuals to kind of like step up their game, or to be very like serious about whatever their next step is towards you, not just for you, but also this energy of kind of like whoever this other person is in the mix, or this other kind of like determined suitor, to kind of get that person out of the way so that they are the one that is victorious. Yeah, we've got the moon. So there's those two dogs, those two wolves that are just like howling. Both of these people are just like, oh, yes, you're perfect. You're everything that I want. And it feels like it's something though that they kind of like that there is this competition. Like it's uncertain. It's not like a guarantee. Okay, I'm gonna be charismatic. I'm gonna say the right things, do the right things. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna pull out all the stops in order to, prove to this person that I'm not just coming in for a good time, but I'm looking for something long term. I'm here for the duration, if that's, the direction that things go in. And so it feels like it's definitely supercharging both of these individuals to kind of impress you, or to do more than what they might normally do, or again kind of like not just sort of take their time with things. It's like time is of the essence. There's a window of opportunity here where they're seeing that you're single, they're seeing that you're available, you're radiating this very magnetic energy. Your aura is glowing, you've had a glow up, you're focused on beautiful things, or in a place of like peace within your life, and it's sent out a very unique signal to the environment around you, or places that you are at, or just kind of the universe in general. And it's like you've called in these two individuals in addition to others that are like, you're turning heads at this particular point in time. A lot of people got their focus on you, a lot of people got their eyes on you, but these two individuals are just like, okay, you awaken the beast within me. It's like this primal hunger within these two people that is just like, I gotta have you, I gotta make you mine. And so it's almost the energy of like, prepare to be very impressed, in terms of not just like somebody comes forth and you go from maybe, like a very quiet dating life, or no options in love, to like, okay, here's someone who's trying to impress me. Here's somebody who's trying to date me. Here's somebody that's trying to get to know me. This is the sense of almost kind of like two people then that are coming in with these very unique and very different experiences for you, where you're not going to question sort of like what are their intentions, because it feels like both of these people are trying to lead with the energy of like, I need to pour into this. I can't just come and like take. I can't just come and manipulate. I can't just kind of like come and get my cheesy pickup lines and think that'll be enough to captivate this person's attention, or to keep their attention. So it's like these people want to do the most. They want to make sure that you see like, hey, we might be starting from scratch, or it's kind of like early on, or they may just kind of be hovering in the friend zone, or maybe this is just kind of like a casual acquaintance, or someone that you've seen around that's getting emboldened to kind of come forth and speak to you more directly. But there's a sense of like, they want to show you that they are wanting something deeper than just surface level. They're not just kind of like looking to get you home, looking to get you in bed. These are things that they want obviously as well, but it's like there's more to it than that. And so for both of these people, it's like you've motivated them to kind of get very creative, to pour in a way that maybe they usually don't do so quickly in connections. But again, there's that urgency, because it's not just here's the window of opportunity, but like I sense, or I'm aware of, or I have direct knowledge of, there's somebody else that's trying to come in. There's somebody else that is like vying for your attention. There's somebody else that wants a place in your life. And so again, it's like this competitive edge within these two people. It's working to your advantage, because it's getting them to take this very seriously. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Both of these people are like very possessive. Like, you're mine. You're gonna be mine. It's gonna be me. They're not like, they both have a healthy ego, but there's a sense of almost like a higher awareness. Like they're trying to almost use positive affirmations in this sense to their advantage. Like, it will be me. It will be me who succeeds in this. It will be me that becomes the long-term partner. It will be me that is, the person that kind of brings you out of that period of drought as far as like dating is concerned. It will be me that, is the person to give you your next first kiss. It'll be me that is, the individual that has that kind of like long-term potential with you. And so it feels like, again, this, and I'm also hearing, I don't want to share. So there's this energy of like people that are looking for monogamy, and they're also both kind of looking to sort of get rid of the competition, so that there's exclusivity. There's a mutual understanding and an exclusivity. And so this can kind of result in people being very clear about their intentions, very consistent with their communication, active listeners, very engaging in terms of, your exchanges with one another. So this represents something that goes beyond kind of those experiences of, hot and cold energy, or things were very like dry and there wasn't anything very interesting. This is kind of like, okay, I'm not just gonna knock on that door and kind of leave you hanging. I'm not just gonna present myself and then you have to do all the work. I'm not just gonna like tap you on the shoulder to get you to chase me. This is something where both of these people are very determined, like, if you'll allow me to step up and lead us forward into something more, I have the capability of doing that, and I'm wanting to do that with you. Yeah, Eight of Swords. So this is the energy of like, neither of these people sees you as a damsel in distress. They see you as actually kind of the opposite of that. Like, you've rescued yourself from something. You've elevated yourself to this particular place you are in your life, this phase of your life, this stage of your life. And so this is really encouraging or inspiring both of these people as kind of like, okay, it's a good idea to progress forward. It's a good idea to open my heart. It's a good idea to open my mind to this situation, because I'm not just going to be ending up in a circumstance where someone's like dependent on me to fulfill their emotional needs. I'm not just going to end up in a circumstance where, I'm doing all the heavy lifting and I get nothing in return. I'm not just going to end up in a circumstance that, is kind of like one-sided, or something where I'm like used or taken advantage of. Like, they see you as somebody like, you can take care of yourself. You can hold your own. You can self-sustain. You're operating in a very like powerful and a very independent energy, which it feels like is the right recipe for both of these people at this point in both of their lives in terms of what they're looking for in potential partners, in potential mates. Both of these people may be very selective or very discerning at this point in time. They may not be dating other people, or they're just kind of selective in terms of like who they start talking stages with. Like, the criteria that they have has sharpened their discernment from like earlier points in their life, earlier chapters in their experience where they might have thought, hey, it's a numbers game as far as dating is concerned. Now they're focused on quality versus quantity. And so they're seeing you as a quality person. And so there's a sense of like, okay, let me, devote my attention exclusively to this. Let me pour myself into this situation in a way that shows I'm not just kind of testing the waters here and there and like 20 other places, but that there's something where it's kind of like my focus is on you. It feels like they're also very respectful of the fact that you have options. So it's something where they're not going to like judge you for that. It's like, of course somebody like you would have options. So let me do the most in order to set myself apart from the competition. Yeah, the Hermit. So there could be an age difference between you and both these individuals. They feel like they're older, they're more mature. They've gone through the period of like sowing their royal oats and kind of keeping those options open. These are two individuals who are looking for, again, like quality versus quantity. They bring the wisdom of kind of the trials and tribulations of life, of heartbreak, of, maybe even having to like reinvent themselves from the ground up a couple different times or a significant time. Like, they bring a lot to the table in terms of just life skills, emotional skills. It feels like both these people are very emotionally evolved, emotionally mature. They can keep up with your needs. This is not something where you're going to have to like placate to, like a man child, or, like an adult baby, or somebody that is just kind of like their priorities are all wrong. Their focus is all wrong. They're just very like self-absorbed, or unable to kind of be very adaptable in terms of partnering with other people and kind of what that is all, and what all that involves. It feels like they've gone through those kind of ups and downs in previous chapters of their life, in previous decades, in previous years, in previous relationships. And so you're getting access to the version of these two people that they both understand kind of like what works and what doesn't. They're aware of their own flaws, their own shortcomings. Both of these people in some way have mastered their shadow or have come to understand it in a way that they bring a level of self-awareness to the table that previous people you might have dated or that expressed interest in you just didn't have, regardless of age, because people can be emotionally immature at any age, but there's just something with this of like, these are people that are older, they're more mature, they're more wise, and they have evolved internally as well. So it's kind of like the outside matches the inside. They have, done that work within. They've been forced to, or they've chosen to do that. And so this can represent like a new chapter, a new cycle for you in terms of different, like a higher and different caliber of potential partner that you are now magnetizing in. Yeah, Judgment. So we got Judgment Day. This is that competition. It's like game on. Both of these people are very determined to set themselves apart from the competition, to be the one that you choose. They have both heard the call, from inside in terms of like, okay, this is somebody that is worth my time. This is somebody that's worth my effort. This is somebody who's captivated my attention more than just like a shiny thing that has caught my eye. But there's something in that energy of they have both observed very intently for a period of time. Again, one person, it feels like it's not been so long in terms of calendar time, but there's somebody else here that it's like they've put in that work. They've been observing for a while. They've been kind of like holding back and just getting the lay of the land or feeling things out or really like preparing themselves like, okay, I'm going to give this my all and I got to make sure that I don't fumble this situation. I got to make sure that I'm emotionally ready. I got to make sure that, if things progress forward between the two of us, that I'm not going to stumble in this situation. I'm not going to mess this circumstance up. This other person, it feels like they've had those same kind of thoughts, but it's been at a more rapid pace. So both of these people bring this determination of like, I'm going to claim you. You will be mine. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, this is indicating kind of the beginning, the seed of something that has the ability to turn into a long-term and satisfying connection for you. So get ready, like both of these people are gonna bring themselves out of the shadows. You don't have to do a whole lot of work here. It's kind of just like sit back, let yourself be romanced, let yourself be wooed, let yourself be adored. Let these people kind of like show you what they can do, what they can bring to the table. A unique experience from both of these individuals, but no matter who you choose out of these two people, it feels like you're in for a very satisfying experience in love and romance. It has a lot of long-term potential to it. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Please give the video a like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out. And don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.